You'll see some stranger things that even stranger than you've already seen. But it'll all be clothes, so don't worry about it. Also, I should mention, there's no ladies on the show. Not one. Because a lot of times people get nervous about that. And they're like worried the whole show, and they're like, I hope a lady doesn't come out on stage because I'm just going to get out of here if that's the case. I can tell. They're like, I don't want it. Was that you? There'll be no ladies. So you can just relax. It's all dudes. The whole show. Not a single lady comedian. So you don't have to leave. I'm just kidding. There really aren't any ladies on the show. But this segment of the show, I own a lot of things. As I mentioned, I collect yearbooks, but I also I'm a hoarder. But in an organized way. And sort of everything in my whole house, I can tell you where I got it, why I got it, how, like it all has a story attached to it. But that doesn't necessarily mean I want to keep all those things. And so they may not have a high retail value, but they have a high sentimental value. And a lot of people I know have objects like this. So what I've done is I've come up with this way for them to present one of these objects to you, tell the story about it, and then get rid of it. And the way they'll get rid of it is we will have an auction. So I call this the damaged goods auction. They'll tell a story about their item, and then they will auction it off to you, the audience, so I hope you have some cash on you, because someone in the crowd will take this item home tonight. Also, we have a charity this month that's on there. It's the Animal Rescue League. Give a couple bucks to that on the way out, or, you know, no big deal if you don't, you're just a piece of shit. But save your cash for the damaged goods auction. So you will get the object. You will also get this lovely certificate of authenticity signed by me as your auctioneer and the subject of the auction tonight. And so the person doing the auction tonight is a good friend of mine. You guys are really going to enjoy this. He's been on Comedy Central. He used to host here on Thursdays, but he had to stop. I'm sure I'll tell you about it. It wasn't a court thing. And I think you're going to enjoy this very much. So in the damaged goods auction tonight, please welcome Sean Sullivan, everybody.
Hello. This is exciting. Hi, this is great. Thank you guys for coming out. My name is Sean Sullivan, as he said. If you are not aware, this was my show for 3 years. Every Thursday I would come here and do this shit. But I wouldn't do yearbook stuff or auction stuff. I would just I'd make fun of the audience a little bit in a mean fashion. And then I would pat myself on the back on the way home. But that's because look, I'm very good at being mean. I am the gentleman that, Langston Kerr earlier in the night. What a great moment. A highlight of the night, if you ask me. When he was standing there and I went, ugh. It was beautifully timed because I'm a professional. Look, they don't put you on television unless you're good. That's how that works. And I was on for 3.5 minutes twice. It was one time, but they aired it twice. But that's not why I'm here tonight. Tonight I'm here to auction an item from my house. From my home, that I own, because I do pretty well, and it's in Brockton, Massachusetts. I don't want to brag. There's a foreclosed abandoned house in Brockton, Massachusetts that I own with my wife, who is pregnant. So she's pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. So open up your hearts, because those kids are fucked. And I've been on stage for about 30 seconds. I've given you no indication I'm fit to be a father, and I will continue to give you no indication I'm fit to be a father as I speak to you this evening. If you were ever lucky enough, and I say lucky enough because it was anybody that was here was lucky to see me. If you were ever lucky enough to see me host a Thursday night here, you know that I am a heterosexual male. I love vaginal intercourse with my wife, and I love the American musical theater. Those are the things you need to know. I'm sorry, miss, if this isn't exactly what you wanted. How easy it is to fall back into old habits. You're telling me I haven't been on this stage in 3 months and the person in the front row is not interested in anything I'm about to say? It's incredible. It's incredible. The live theater. I am a fan of live Broadway musicals. That is my hobby that I have. I share that with my wife. We go to Broadway and we see Broadway shows a couple times a year. That's what we do with our money, because we have a lot of it, because we do quite well. But not anymore, because we have these fucking kids that are coming over and everything. And unless we can figure out some kind of little rascal scheme where they can sit on my shoulders in a trench coat, we're not going to any live theatrical performances. But I don't like movie musicals. You would know that also if you were fortunate enough to ever see me live perform. I don't know why I said that backwards. Perform live. But When I'm on stage, it is live. It is living energy, the breathing of it. I like to be in the moment. When you sit and I don't like watching a movie of a musical. I like Les Miserables. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time. I thought the movie was the fucking worst movie I've ever seen. I've only gotten out of the house once in the last 9 months to see a movie, and it happened to be that piece of shit. And I'm sorry if you liked it. You're absolutely 1,000% wrong. There's nothing interesting about watching famous people sing badly in a close-up. That's not... If that wins the Academy Award, I'm done with film. I'm done with... I'll throw my TV out the window in case I ever accidentally watch a movie on it. I have a lot of opinions. If you know my act, you know that I hate Shirley Temple movies. I hate the movie Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I hate that. I think Liza Minnelli was the wrong choice to play Sally Bowles in the film adaptation of Cabaret, because when you have an American play Sally Bowles, it throws off the political allegory of the original Canada Ave stage production. That's how I view the world, and I have strong opinions about it. But there is one musical that has a movie adaptation where if I was forced to choose between the stage adaptation or the movie, I would pick the movie 100 times out of 100. If you had a gun to my head and shooting me was not an option, which really takes the stakes out of the whole gun to the head thing. Like, I have a gun to your head and you're gonna do one of these two things, and we're not gonna murder you. I would pick the movie rather than watch the stage version, and that movie, and listen, I hate the movie, don't get me wrong, but they somehow managed to improve upon the fucking abortion that is the stage play. And that movie is Grease. Everybody is familiar with the film Grease. I'm sure you're a fan of it because you're not a fan of mine. There's no way we could ever get along. I will leave my wife for you. I'm sorry I said that. If you don't mind having 2 babies when I have them for custody, which is not going to be ever. There's no joint custody when I leave. My wife leaves me, I'm not leaving her. That's ridiculous. She's going to learn to fill up with this bullshit at some point and just hit the road. And, not hit the road, she'll stay where she is. She makes more money than I do. I will hit the road. And by hit the road, I mean I will live by the tracks like a hobo. No comedy club would have me. I talk about Shirley Temple a lot. And, I'm not a fan of the movie Grease. I don't think it's good. Is anybody here a fan? I just want to gauge the crowd. You're a fan, of course. You're a fan. Why wouldn't you be a fan? I don't think it's a good movie. I hate almost every aspect of the movie. When I say almost, I mean every aspect of the movie I absolutely hate. I hate the animated opening title sequence, that stupid fucking 1970s Frankie Valli Grease is the Word song that doesn't sound anything like a song from the 1950s. It's just like this fucking disco-y song with this stupid fucking Ralph Bakshi looking animation. I hate that at the end of the movie, Sandy and Danny climb into a car and then fly into outer space. Like, this whole movie we're led to believe these morons are the dumbest kids in school, they're barely gonna graduate, but somehow they've mastered the fucking physical mechanics of a flying car. I hate that it glorifies everything that's awful about the 50s, which, like, I like the 50s in theory until you watch Grease and you realize, oh, it's awful. I think Grease was written by people who grew up in the 60s to show kids in the 70s that their parents were whores in the 50s. That's all. It's like if you were like 98 class of 1979, your mom giving you grief because you want to go to Fingertown in the back of her station wagon, well, next time she's out acting holier than thou, tell her you saw Grease and call her a whore. How about you do that? She's no better than you. There's just no good lessons for girls. And I'm about to, my wife is about to shit out a daughter, and like, I don't know, there's a lot of holes down there that I haven't seen in a while, and, or high-risk pregnancy, and, also, I gotta imagine if you have babies, it's no thrill to have me fucking like lunging at you, like, ah, come on! I don't know. I have notes that I'm just throwing out. But there's no, like, I will never show that. My daughter will never, ever see that movie. She'll never, because there's no good lesson. Like, Rizzo, like the main mean girl, she's played by Stockard Channing, who coincidentally at the time of filming, little known fact, was 57 years old. Just go back and she's the oldest high school in the history of film. It wouldn't have been surprising if she, at the time she was playing a senior in high school in Greece, she was also playing a young grandmother. Nobody would have been shocked. Like, she shows up in her first scene, she's wearing glaucoma sunglasses. That's all you need to know. She's a fucking bitch to everybody. I'd go so far as to say she's a cunt to everybody in the whole goddamn movie. She's miserable to everybody. She hates everything until she thinks her boyfriend Kaniki, who's a fucking complete dirtbag, knocked her up. She sings a sad song, then finds out she's not pregnant, and then in the last 10 minutes of the movie, which takes place for no reason at a carnival in the back of this high school, there's just a full-blown carnival in the parking lot of Reid High. She runs back into her arms and is like, I'm not pregnant, and then they go butt-fuck on a Ferris wheel or something. She doesn't learn anything. You would think if you had a pregnancy scare at that age, you'd like reevaluate your life, and you'd be like, I gotta be less of a whore. This is not good. But that's like, what lesson? There's no lesson for a little girl in that. It's like, hey, if you think you're pregnant, sing a sad song you won't be. That's all you need to know. It's awful. That's not even the worst lesson in the movie, and that's one of the worst lessons in the history of film. The worst lesson in the movie comes from Olivia Newton-John. She plays Sandy, who's the only likable, sweet, wholesome character the entire movie. She's the only person with a good moral center. She's the only actual human being that you would ever want to be associated with. And her only flaw is that she's in love with Danny Zuko, who's played by John Travolta, who treats her like shit the entire movie only because she's not a fucking whore. That's it. It's just like, I can't believe you're not fucking everybody you see, you fucking loser virgin, you 17-year-old virgin in high school. You're gross. You would not be friends with Langston Kerman. Look at these people, all I see is dollar signs. They've just turned into fucking dollar signs like the chicken hawk looks at Foghorn Leghorn. That's all you people are to me is money that I'm going to get tonight and feed my babies who were going to live off breast milk for a year. So if the money's going straight to comic books or video games or something. Sandy, her only flaw, she's in love. And Danny Zuko, to his credit, is the only person that changes in a good way throughout the movie. He realizes he actually loves Sandy, he's going to evolve, and he's got to be with her, he's going to be a more mature adult, and he's got to grow up. And he's just about to be like everything, he's going to graduate from high school, and then she pulls the rug out of everything by putting on a leather catsuit, and like she starts smoking, and she's like, what up, stud? And then she just turns into a complete whore because she wants him back. That's not a good lesson for anybody. Like, hey girls, the man of your dreams doesn't really like you? Well, fucking do whatever you have to do to turn yourself into whatever you think he thinks he wants. She ruins his life. They ruin each other's lives. She puts on the fucking catsuit, she's like, teases up her hair and hangs her puss out like she has any idea what she's doing with it. She's a 17-year-old virgin from Australia. She doesn't know anything about sex. So immediately, instead of graduating high school and going to a local community, because he's not going to a real college with those transcripts, but he could go to a community college by the end of the movie, you know, and he could take night classes, he could turn his life around, build a nice life for him and Sandy, they could live in a little house, you know, obviously he's got mechanic skills to build a flying car, he knows what he's doing a little bit with his hands. But instead, she's like, let's fuck, and then they fuck, he's going to get her pregnant in the backseat of a car to drive in. And then he's gonna go from shit job to shit job trying to pay child support for this kid that he does, because she's gonna have a good girl relapse and realize she's gonna keep the baby. So he's gonna try and figure out a way to pay for this child. And then they graduate in 1959. 4 years later, the Army's looking for volunteers to go to this new thing called Vietnam. He volunteers for Vietnam, goes to Vietnam, realizes he can't dance his way out of war, and dies. That's what happens at the end of Grease. He dies. Charlie gets him. Grease 2 is not the sequel to Grease, ladies and gentlemen. Platoon is the sequel to Grease. And you go, Sean, why do you have so much passion towards a thing you clearly hate? It's because when I was 15 years old, I auditioned for a play called Grease. Now, everything I just described to you applies only to the movie, which is better than the stage play, which fucking sucks. I hate the movie that much. What do you think I think about this fucking play? I'll let your nightmares figure that out. The problem with this little yellow book is that when I did this play, I met my wife. That's where I met my wife. When I was 15 years old, I met the woman And I fell in love with this girl, and I married her, and now she's about to shit out 2 kids. And we have this beautiful moment. Like, this is the best, the happiest I've ever been in my life. Everything is clear. I understand what my purpose is on this planet now, except for the fact that it's all predicated on this fucking stupid play. So whenever I think about how happy my life is, I have to go back to, you're the one I want. That's the soundtrack to my happiness. It's fucking Grease. So I'm gonna get rid of this little fucking haunted item tonight. And you're going, wow, Sean, that looks like an unused script. It is. It's completely unused. It was used once. We did a read-through on a Friday night when we all got cast. There were 30 kids in the cast. We all sat around. We all paid $5 to get our little copies of Grease. We read it. We all agreed. And let's be honest, I was cast as Sonny, who was one of the T-Birds. The other members of the T-Birds were a 33-year-old man, a 24-year-old man, a 17-year-old, I was 15, and then 3 10-year-olds. We were the Greaser Gang. Or as the fucking actual stage play calls them, the Burger Palace Boys. Yeah. I fucking saw red. I don't even know. I don't know what I said. I've literally lost my mind. So what you're gonna get tonight, hold on, I gotta figure it out. What you're gonna get tonight, if you so choose to support me and my impending family, is you're gonna get an unused version of the fucking play version of Grease, which you could sit down and you could watch the movie and go, holy shit, I can't believe they even made a movie. This is how bad this is. I can't believe somebody optioned this play and then was like, we gotta get some stars for this thing. This is good. It doesn't have half the songs, so you don't have to worry about that because all the songs in this thing suck. But you're also going to get the script that the director of the play, which is completely illegal, by the way. When you option a musical, you have to do it word for word. If you change one word, you're in violation of the copyright and the contract that you signed. The woman who directed the play hand wrote her own version of Grease. She sat with a VHS tape of the film, watched it, rewound it, transcribed. Watched it, rewound it, transcribed. And then on Sunday, when we went into rehearsal, we all had new scripts that she had written and typed out on a typewriter. It's this movie. We had a flying car at the end of the movie. We had a big balsa wood car, which, as you can imagine, we couldn't fly because it's a teenage production of Grease. So 5 of the T-Birds just were like putting our backs into trying to push this thing. This fat Sandy and fucking 24-year-old Danny are sitting in this thing, weighing it down, which is like, oh shit, get this fucking thing on stage. That's how the fucking curtain comes down. 5 kids about to throw out their 10-year-old backs. So I bring Ken Reid back up as the auctioneer to make me a shit ton of money.
All right, Sean Sullivan and his copy of Grease with handwritten notes. Now, are your lines highlighted in there?
My lines, well, in the script they're not, because we got the script and then immediately she just was like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Okay, this is good too.
We might as well have done another fucking musical. That's how that was.
You could have done Grease too.
It would have been better than fucking Grease the stage play.
I hate Grease as well, but I enjoyed Eddie Deason in it. As Eugene the Nerd, yes.
He is the fucking highlight of the show.
He's lost his virginity on the set because, what's his name, the dead one who was in Taxi. Jeff Conaway made him have sex with a prostitute. That's a lovely story from the set of Grease.
Is it a lovely story?
Not at all. It's a terrible story. He made an autistic man have sex with a hooker. But I was also in Grease when I was 3 years old. I was in a preschool, which was really just like a day camp because my parents worked. And the 22-year-old chubby girls who ran the day camp in 1983 were like, let's make these toddlers be in Grease. Which was not the play. They played the soundtrack and made us dance to it, put grease in my hair, put a leather jacket on me, and I had no shirt on. This fellow would be like, hey, 3 years old.
Did you do the ellipses dance?
I did the ellipses dance. And in the middle, and I spent my whole teenage years like all greased up, greased their hair, but at that point I had like a lovely bowl cut that they greased up. And in the middle of the song I said, stop this! This is ridiculous! And then I stormed off the stage, which is really a representation of my whole career as a stand-up. But, all right, so you get the Grease musical play, along with the illegal transcriptions of scenes from the movie, you get this certificate of authenticity that says, this certifies this teenage musical theater dream, is what we're calling this package. The Sean Sullivan item has the date. I've signed it because I'm the auctioneer, as well as Sean Sullivan, famous TV comedian.
Famous TV comedian.
You get all this, and we will start the bidding. One of you will take this home tonight, Eddie Money style. We will start the bidding at $1.
I wanted to let you know one of the added lines to the script that I had to say on stage was, "Hey, greetings, pals and gals. Hey, I got 23 cents. Anyone want to chip in for a dog sled delight?"
The dog sled delight, the tragic sexual maneuver that led to so many deaths in the 70s.
This is what I've committed my life to.
He met his wife here. That line was in their vows at their wedding. I was there. $1. Anyway. We got $1?
$1?
Yeah. $2 for the lady.
$10. This is ridiculous.
We're at $2. $2 with the lady. Anyone get 3? We got 3? $3 over here. Certificate of authenticity. Famous. $4? 4.
Are you guys shitting me? I almost just had a stroke.
He's gonna need some medication.
Definitely something got blocked.
Yeah.
So your $4 is not even going to come close to paying the medical costs.
$4.
Or paying
That's
for
only
the
a
funeral
dollar.
that will be attended by my unborn children.
That's only $1 per heart chamber. $4. We need more than that. $4 to the lady.
Some moron sold a weightlifting belt.
Yeah, I went for $35.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. We're at 4. We're at 4.
Some guy sold photo drawings that he photocopied drawings.
They weren't here, but... All right, $4 with the lady.
I'm bidding $20. I'm not letting this go for $4.
Can you pay yourself $20? I don't think you can do that.
Wow, I'm not taking $4.
Still at 4 with the lady. She's at 4. That's where she's at. She's at 4. She knows she's realistic. Can anyone...
Some fucking moron sold a video game chair for $10.
Yeah, well,
They would lug it downstairs.
They didn't meet their wife in that chair, you know? If you hated your wife, they'd be happy to take it off your hands. I think they feel bad. Like your wife's gonna be like, "Hey Sean, where's that grease thing? I want to give it to the kids for their graduation." And they'd be like, 18 years ago I sold it to a girl for $4. And she'll be like, "Divorce. You are not the one that I want."
Yeah. Which is not in the stage play, by the way.
So we're at 4. We're at 4. We got 4 going once.
$4.50.
$4.50.
$9.5 cents. Your vote doesn't count. You go up to $5.
All right. After the $4.75, I'm only going in dollar increments. So we're at $4.75. $4.75 with the lady. Not even a guy on a date wants to. We got 5. We got 5.
I'm not selling. She's a Russian. She works
Well,
here.
we can't. She might well. She's got money. She's a person.
She doesn't know how to read the script.
6 with the lady. 6 with the lady.
$6.
Anyone beat 6? We got 6 going once.
You don't have a. Your crowd is stingy.
Well, they usually do a lot better when you're not
We're
here.
from Boston.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of money. The economy's bad. They don't have jobs.
She's from Boston, she says.
That's right. She's not on a reality TV show yet, like the rest of Boston. She's not making any money. $6. We got 6 going once. There's no dudes on dates who want to impress their lady with a romantic gift. Come
Well,
on.
to be fair, I didn't.
You're with her and you're making her bid?
I didn't sell it.
What?
I didn't really give a fucking great impression of the item.
Jesus Christ! You guys could be reenacting scenes all weekend. We're gonna be snowed in. Do you know how many movies? Well, yeah. The lady likes it. Come on.
Show, I'd be like, yeah, I got this fucking dumb piece of shit that I ate.
Oh, fuck,
I just want it out of my fucking
I
house.
don't even know what her name is.
I don't know why I expected more than
6 with the
$4.
lady and the gentleman who doesn't care.
You better have 6 ones, because I am not breaking a 10.
You got exact change, even better. Certificate of authenticity signed by famous comedian. It's fine. It's your money, that's fine. She's big your money, it's fine.
Shame on all of
6
you.
going once.
You hacks.
6 going twice. 6 going twice,
You
everybody.
open micers. Do you know what I could do for you? I was on television!
10.
Sold for $6 to the lady. Come up here. Oh, come up here.
You get nothing! Sit down!
$6, thank you.
I didn't want it. I'm not a prostitute.
I'll take that. Where's this? Oh, it's on the floor.
I'm not picking that up.
Join at $6, Sean. You can buy your kid kids $3 of something each. I don't want a commission. I'm not going to take $1 out of your kids' mouths. That's
One dime is going to the charity.
well, is that where you play children now?